How are you doing, lads and lasses? How are you doing? So, welcome to the the review show. Gary Hoyle's already in the chat. Hello, mate. How are you doing? Welcome along. Indeed, you do. Yes, pet. What the? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want us to turn it down for you? Better? A better? Good lass. Hello, Maverick Loggins. How you doing, mate? How you doing? So this is just the review show. What's been going on over the last week with Sunderland, and we'll be talking bits and bobs. And I'm also hearing as well that Sunderland have rejected a bid for Pierre Ekwa, believe it or not. Reported to be around about £4.5 million or something. Kevin Boys, welcome along. Welcome to the weekly Mackem review show every Thursday. As I'll have a look back what's been happening in the last week and seeing what the fans has been saying. So straight away we're going to jump in to my YouTube channel, and I put a post up saying Sunderland to sign Tottenham striker Will Lancashire. So just make sure that everybody can see this all right. Make sure it's all working. Let's just see if that's working. I might have to redo the thing again. Yeah, 2 seconds. I will just redo that. That's just gone off. So I will redo this one again. There was a second. It'll take 2 minutes to do. Technology. There we go. I'll just make that big so you guys can practically see what's going on. And I'll put my ugly mug somewhere along that lot. So let's just check that works. I should be able to scroll up and down. Just check, see if that works. Get that all set up. I am early to start the show, so I'm just getting sort of set up. Trying to get it to link in. Yeah, that seemed to be sorted now. So then, yeah, Sunderland to sign striker Will Lancashire. Was going about. And Adam says, on paper, he's better than Burstow, but we need Mendy, or at least an alternative as good or better on a permanent. Still waiting for Mendy. That's going on, isn't it? Stephen Potts, he said, for God's sake, give the boy a chance, man. He's not signed yet, but some of you are slating him already. If you got any sense or think that you try being in the same position as the board, they don't want to waste money, because think back, and Jack Rodwell took Sunderland for mugs. Didn't play, wouldn't go out on loan, and took money off Sunderland for kicking a ball. We don't want that to happen again. So let's be patient for players coming in. Dale says, let's pray it works, 5th time lucky. One has to be good eventually. Just keep trying, as it seems we can't coach players, or it seemed in the last 7 years. Michael has said, honestly, I've lost my objectivity. My heart is set on Mendy. I've loved watching him play. when looked into him. I don't think anyone else will top seeing him announced for me, even if in some dreamland they sound Smorix. I want Mendy. So there we go. Louise Brown says, we have a lot of possibles. Speakman out. Sick or some. Louise is sick of ifs and buts and maybes and stuff. Do you blame her? Tony Huntington says, great we get a striker, but who gets dropped to play him? It could upset the balance and the way we play. By the way, I do think we need a striker. Idiots don't use Twitter. 3 goals in 5 games for England under 19s. Not sure, but could call him England's best young striker. Get him signed. Get Mendy or a different experienced striker too. And we're now, that's like nearly a week ago, and we've still got no one in at all. Alan Dixon says, I don't care who we get, just as long as the striker and he scores lots of goals. So, and we've got Thane. How are you doing, Thane? He says, I really hope this doesn't happen. So Thane doesn't want it to happen. By Thane. I don't get why people are getting excited about this lad just because he scored against Hearts in pre-season and because he's got a really good record at youth level. He's 19 and I guarantee he'll end up being another Birdstore, and that's the thing. This lad has no first team experience, whereas Burstow did have some first team experience in the League One with Charlton. And even if he wasn't right kind of signing for us, I don't want us signing inexperienced kids up front, because if that's the case, we might as well just go with what we've got. We need experienced strikers, just like I said, one with experience at this level and one with experience from overseas. Then also says, I don't mind going for young forwards if they've already got a little bit of experience at this level, like a Tom Cannon or a Jay Stansfield, for example. But signing lads on loan from Prem academies is a waste of time, especially if we want to have any chance of finishing in the top 6. Personally, I think people just want this lad because they're that desperate they'll take anyone. But God's honest truth, if he's the hype of the striker we're looking at, I'd rather sign nobody, because either way it would show you that this lot have no ambition. Signed an experienced striker or to pay people off. Red Dot says, if he's good enough, buy him. Loan strikers are an issue. They either flop or leave a huge hole when they return to the parent club, a bit like what Amad Diallo did, I suppose, which left a gaping hole. So we've got SJ says, here we go, deadline day possibility. I bet we got another 19-year-old kids lined up to take on loan to complement our main striker when we finally get him in. Dortmund says, I'd rather we didn't sign him, to be honest with you. We saw what happened with Burstow, even though we had a good youth record. See what he's like at League 1 and 2, then loan him into the Championship if he's good enough. Rumour has it he's on his way to Watford. Just Ray says, Cabby, it doesn't look like we're going to sign any forwards permanently, so he's better than nothing. He says KLD out now. Zap Frisco says, can't see this happening. Don't think we'll sign a striker again. If they were serious, they'd already be there. He'd already be here. Look at Sheffield Wednesday. Have signed 2 strikers. Look at Ipswich last year. Signed for the clubs that mean business. Get it done, no messing about. We always look for cheapest option and come out after deadline day and say nobody fit our model. It's the same old crap every single season. The Ferret says, I've never heard of him. I've never thought Mendy would come. He is more BS bullshit from the club. Maureen Johnson says, if he wants Mins on the pitch and he's a striker, my guess he'll be asking for a rest. DX in TV says, is he injured or able to get injured? Carrick Murphy says Mendy and Archer. We've got David Jobman says diabolical. Johnny Cool says another unproven striker. We have not learned our lesson. Studdick says we need a striker who can hold the ball and lay it off. Basics. Michael Weasley says who? Mackem on a mission says should get Josh Hugill back on loan. And we jump into the chat and we've got Kevin Boys says, unpopular opinion, but striker too hard to find with our funds. So my choice is sell Ekwa and get funds for striker, or sign an attacking left midfielder and put Clark up front. Well, of course, it's looking like Sunderland have rejected a bid for Pierre Ekwa. I was just listening to Nick Barnes on Total Sport there. That some club I think's bid 4.5 million for Ekwa, and Sunderland have rejected it. Thane, how you doing, fella? Good to see you. Hope you're well. Thane says, we're about to play Sheffield Wednesday, who have signed 3 strikers this season. Their owner is an idiot, but he's back and roll. Like wouldn't back. Neil and Mowbray, and it's the same now with Le Brise. So it does seem to be the way, doesn't it? It does seem to be the way. The fact like everybody's signing stuff apart from us when it matters. So that was that over. And I was going to do Sunderland to sign Tottenham's Dane Scarlett, but we all know he has gone to... Where's he gone again? Where's he gone to? Oxford United. So is that a bullet dodged? So then, this one got quite a good response as well. This is regarding the pathetic performance, really, against Preston North End. Our exit from the League Cup at the first hurdle, 2-0. I thought the first 10 minutes, Sunderland looked lively, they looked sharp, and they looked like they were going to do the business. And then we started missing sitters by Abdullah Bar. Like I say, it was a pinpoint cross. It came onto his head. It was a cracking cross, and it sort of, I don't know, like hit his face. I phoned up Talk Sport. I says he was like a pig with a basket of strawberries. He says he made a right hash of it. You know, and who knows, that goal, if that goal had gone in, it could have been a different game. Who knows? But once again, how many times are we going to see it? We're missing sitters left, right and centre. I wanted to work out for Bar, but he's not doing himself any favours at all. And if we had beat Preston, we would have been playing Harrogate. And who knows how far we could have got in this competition. I don't know. Me personally, they can completely sack the League Cup. I'm totally not bothered about it, and it's a shame the fans gone down in the thousands to like Preston to watch that. And like I say on this video, you know, I was talking about the club. They've just no ambition in the cups, and it's just a shame that the fans go down there. We're not a hope in hell with the team because they're putting out their second string. And how weak does our second string squad seem, by the way? Honestly, if we get any injuries, you know, my God, you know, we're going to be in bloody trouble, aren't we? Absolutely. Thane says, this whole 35 sell-on clause for Ekwa is ridiculous, he says. Unless we sell him for 10 to 15 million, he says, you'll hardly get anything back. Thane's also said some people had Bar as man of the match. Possible so, but I mean, if you focus on the goal scoring chances, I mean, you can't tell me Bar doesn't practice these crosses and these headers and stuff. I just still don't know to this day what he was trying to do. If it just hit his head, it would have been a goal. Oh, unbelievable! Like James Ramsey says, no news on a striker. No. So then, I'm going to read some comments on if the club is not bothered, then why should the fans make an effort? This is regarding the 2-0 defeat against Preston, of course. User says it was quite obvious that Regis Labrie would put out a team of fringe players. He even suggested at pre-match press conference, we all know most of the fringe players are not good enough. Only Rig, Mundell, Ekwa are worth keeping and developing into the first team squad. And it began to show as the match wore on. And when Preston got their first goal, they just took control of the game. Sunderland just seemed to lose interest, didn't they? They just didn't seem to be bothered at all. And there was even ole getting chanted from the Preston fans because they were just passing the ball all over the place. It was like, okay, whatever. Felt sorry for the 2,000 fans behind the goal. Absolutely did I. RS Drummer says, agree 100%, cabby lad. Rooster Coburn says, I said the same last night. The club just took the pee out of all them fans who travelled last night by making 11 changes. I mean, it's alright making 11 changes if your second string squad is good enough. If you've got a chance with your second string squad, but my God. We wouldn't be able to beat the Slug and Lettuce AFC, the local social club or something. They're just awful. Thane as says, oh no, user says, fair enough if you want to give fringe players a run out, but at least have some first team players in as well to help them blend in to the team tactics. Even the subs were younguns when we had first teasers available. I mean, just goes to show you as well, because we took Rig off and the left bar up front, that just set the sails out to the fans like what the goal was for this match. They weren't bothered at all. We're going to go back into the chat. Thane says, even though Bar is pretty useless, he's normally very clinical. However, he's still not good enough. Yeah, I totally agree, because I mean, how many seasons have we been saying it's like we should have scored, we should have put that away, we should be 3-0 up at half time, we should be 2-0 up at half time, and we're not. And if Sunderland are not scoring goals, Sunderland will not get promoted, will not get into the Championship. You've got to have some of your players or one of your players scoring of an average of about 20 odd goals if you want them to push for the top half, this top six. You know, Jack Clark's not going to get you 20 odd goals. You can't do it on his own. That's why we need the experienced strikers up front who knows where the goal is. Because it's no good this having 10 shots to the other team's 3. The other team's won 1-0. Our 10 shots, none of them's gone in. And it's the same old crap, which frustrates the fans. Gary Hoyle says, why is it everyone is putting all their eggs in one basket with Mendy? No other clubs are sniffing about. So to me, it's a big no. Well, it's just the same old Sunderland, isn't it? They seem to focus on a player, and then that's it. They're just one-track pony mind all the time. They did it with Barini years ago. One want to get him back a second time. Will Grigg. It's like there's more than that one player, but they just seem to focus on that one player for an absolute age until they're desperate. It's like, I cannot understand the logic behind that. You know, there's got to be other players out there. Has to be. Absolutely cracking. Crackers. And Thane has also said on the chat, the way it's looking at the moment, if we don't get Mendy, then we won't get an experienced striker, because he's the only one thereafter. They're putting all their eggs in one basket. But like I say, it's a big thing to gamble on, isn't it? I mean, there's no guarantee Mendy will stay fit. You know, that's why you need your 2 strikers, because we're back to square one again. If Mendy comes in, if he does come in, and he's injured the first 2 games of the first 2 games he plays, we're up shit creek without a paddle. Once again, we have got nought to fall back on. Peter Young says on the Preston game yesterday, he says, wasted opportunity to give the first team a chance to galvanise, add fluidity and confidence, not to mention disrespectful to Preston North End. Well, yep, I know, disrespect to Preston North End, disrespect to the fans, but that just showed you Sunderland were just not bothered one bit. The club's just not bothered. Like I say, get rid of the League Cup as far as I'm concerned. Well, I mean, what's the point of even trying to participate if you're just treating the League Cup as a friendly, as a warm-up and all that? If you've got any get up and go to try and do your best in the Cup, you know what I'm saying? What's the point? Seriously, what's the point? And I've said the fans, stay at home. You know what I mean? The League Cup, let's stay at home, first game, the first round. Save your money. You know what I mean? Save your money with your family or whatever. Wasting your money going down watching them when the club's got no ambition at all to do anything good in the cup. Um, the Timmy, some of the Tommy 86 Abel says the fact that he should have at least had 3 or 4 players to come off the bench and do something says a lot. He says, I was still mad from last season's pathetic exit. So a home draw in the cup and we stay away. I will know that, and they will not get a striker in before the deadline day. So get Speakman out pronto. So still people are saying we need to get Speakman out pronto. Thane has gone on the chat as well. He says, did you hear about we tried to sign an unnamed Chelsea player on loan, but we wouldn't pay a 4 million loan fee? If it was someone with a bit of experience and talent, then that is ridiculous. Once again, it's just coming down to money with Sunderland, isn't it? They will just not fork out. You know, you've got to spend. You've got to spend if you're wanting to do well in this league. If you're wanting to challenge, there's no ifs and buts about it, is there? Once again, back to the Preston defeat from last night. The night before. Steve Taylor says, why? I totally agree what you're saying, mate. I was there last night at Preston, but if we get promoted, I'll look back and say, if we got to the 4th round of the Carabao Cup and it cost us promotion, I'd have been gutted, mate. Onwards and upwards. This is, have you heard anything about Clark signing a 2-year deal? So, a 2-year deal, yeah, that was on... I think there was a fake account going around talking about Jack Clark signing a 2-year deal. Hello, Fredo in the chat. How you doing? And he says, instead of mourning, can you name experienced strikers that are realistic targets? Yeah, well, I'm just going over by what people are saying on my YouTube channel. I'm just going over by what the fans have been saying in the last month. The last week. Just going over the news and what's been happening. So I'm just repeating what the fans have all been saying, Fredo. So once again, this is about the Preston defeat. Alan Gardner says, I also want us to win every game, but 95% fans know we're going to fail a second string. We know we aren't good enough, so you can't go to the game and spend money and then complain about failing a second string side. Alan says on the Preston match, I also want us to win every game, but 95%... Oh, sorry, I've already said that. Andy Apple says, the only conclusion I can make is that Regis Labrie is making a point to the hierarchy that we need better backup. If we are seriously going to compete this season, not to mention the 2 experienced strikers we already need anyway, like, wake the F up hierarchy. Still, it's a poor experience for the fans that have made that effort on that Tuesday night and paid out the money to go to the game, and that's a pathetic excuse of the performance that they get. A few people have said that about Regis Labrie. It's like, is he on purposely playing all that second string squad to literally get a message across to them upstairs to say, hey, this is just not good enough. This squad that I've got at the moment, this backup squad, is nowhere near good enough. If we get any injured players, which we will, then we have not got any decent backup. So we'll be literally knackered. We'll be knackered if we get injuries. So could it be an on-purpose thing that Regis Labrie is playing them? Excuse me. The mad moderator, Claymore says, mountain out of a molehill, Mara. Second stringers have got to have a run out in low stake games. As you say, plenty of teams do it. Yeah, absolutely. It just annoys us at the fact like 2,000 fans went down there and the club puts out shite. It's not on as far as I'm concerned. The mad moderator, he says, agreed. He says, said this to my dad last night. It's an insult to the fans. Pixel Rich has said, rather than the Preston defeat, interesting to see that 9 of the 11 are Speakman signings. Did he pick the bloody team? because it looked to me like the shop window display of Dross. He says we need to offload. God help us if we suffer defensive injuries this season. There's just no one capable of dropping in. Freshy says can't blame you having a rant after last night. And if you've seen the game, it was awful. Susan Prescott says Cabby, you're right. John says, you are so right, it's a disgrace and an insult to the fans. Preston North End were there for the taking, especially after the problems they had with getting rid of Rhino. I worry injuries to our better players as the season progresses. Because looking at the backup shower playing last night, we will struggle big time. And once again, more people are focusing on the backup team or the second string team. User says, totally agree. Taking the P, man, travelling fans got shafted. They should give every fan their money back. It's a bloody disgrace. The one cup everyone has a chance in. What a massive chance gone. Going to the next round and drawing a big boy, but it would have been Harrogate Town. What else could you expect? So I had a really good chance of getting even further if they were serious about it. Just Ray says, hey Cabby, late last season the club said we were going to get our business done early in the close season, and yet here we are again, new season and still no strike force in place. We the supporters want at least 2 strikers, but I personally think we might get 1 striker before the transfer market closes. He says it's a bloody disgrace how KLD is mucking the club about. Michael says more of an indictment of the players to me, to be honest. If we can't play that 11 against Preston side that's lost its manager the day before, what is their wage bill being paid for? He says these aren't our under 21s with a call up for the first team chance. These are the reserves for the first team who have already seen minutes in the championship. He says sure we didn't start our best 11, but should we really have a squad worth of players you can trust with a single game? And helpful Viper says could have warned the fans what they were going to do before the game, or by changing the whole 11. SJ says that defence had it coming. You could see what was going to happen a mile off. I mean, would you have actually bothered going down to watch that Preston game if you could find out that Sunderland were going to play a second string squad? But look, we all knew that they were. That's what teams do. That's what teams do in the Championship and above. And it just really boils my blood when they do it. It's just if that's what they're thinking about the competition, just get rid of it. Ryan says, how are Cabby man? Everyone going. I went myself. Knew it was going to be a heavily rotated side because Regis himself said it. Pathetic to complain about it, says Ryan. Cameras says, are you new to football? This is normal. And it is. It is normal that these teams play second string. And Michael says, League Cup gets it into Europe. KLD, get out if you're not bothered. So that is that for the thing. So now what we're going to have a look at, which everybody is talking about at the moment, we are going to have a look at Sunderland's third strip. So let's have a look at the third strip. We'll go scroll a bit down and see what everybody thinks of this. I got a right shock when I seen it. I thought, oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Right, I need to find out you guys can actually see this. Yeah, there we go. You guys can see that okay. So, we're going to go in the chat and just catch up what people have been saying. D Hall says, let's hear your 3 signings, Fredo. And Fredo says, only one out there would have been Kiefer Moore. D Hall, there isn't any, that's my point. Thean says, there's always an excuse when it comes to trying to sign an experienced striker. With us, you might as well say there's no strike available and we'll just not bother trying because nobody's available. Yes, darling. So do you want to sort us, Sue? Sue? Where's Mummy? Go and get your phone. Pass your phone. I'll do it for you. Give us a second, guys and girls. That's what happens here. The kids. Love them to bits. Love them to bits. Love them to bits. Right. Where are we? Where were we? Where were we? Oh yeah, we're on to the chat and the comments in the chat and stuff. Thane says about the striker situation, there's always an excuse when it comes to trying to sign an experienced striker. Yeah, that's what I've said. Yeah, nobody's available. Fredo says they won't spend 5 million to get a striker in. And Fredo's also says, who would you go for then, Thane? And Thane says, that's the problem. This lot won't spend on quality. Look at Borough spending 4.25 million on Tommy Conway. Fredo says, Conway, not an experienced striker, though. And Thane's gone, obviously, Mendy, but they're making a mess of that. Tom Cannon loan, Sekou Mara loan, Josh Coburn from Borough, Ryan Hardy from Plymouth. Conway is more experienced than our lot. He's scored a few goals at this level, and he's still got potential to grow at a better club than Bristol City. Fredo has gone, Thane, these are experienced strikers who have been there and done it at a higher level. Tony Huntington says, hi all, hello Tony, how you doing? I hope we never play in that third strip. As a strip, it's awful, but it's okay as a normal t-shirt. I mean, yeah, I mean, what do you guys think when you look at that strip? I mean, I was at work today and in my taxi, and I dropped my passenger off, and I got an email saying third kit reveal, and I looked at that, and straight away my eyes were hurting, and I just thought, you guys, suddenly you've got to be kidding with that strip, surely good. I mean, they've produced two absolute cracking tops, the home and the away one, and then they've come out with this. I mean, am I being harsh? Am I being harsh on that strip? I mean, I've tried to look at it. Would I be able to grow and like it? I just don't think I can. I keep looking at it now, says I just don't think I can get to like that top. It's just not for me. That could be one of the worst strips I think we've ever had. Like I say, I'm being harsh. Some fans have said it's a Marmite strip. You either love it or you hate it. The players there certainly don't look too impressed wearing it, do they? That's what I'm thinking about that. So the question is, would you get out and buy it? What do you guys think on the chat? Do you like it? Would you go and order that? Would you go at the shop straight away? A lot of fans have been saying, well, people wouldn't definitely break in the store to get that. I don't know, being harsh. There's been loads of comments and stuff over it. Some funny comments as when it's something someone's nan would wear on the way to bingo. Looking on that strip. Mark says, let's hope we never have to play in it. Matthew says, really nice gesture this. Since the other two kits are so popular, they keep selling out. They've released one that's absolutely dreadful, so everyone can have a chance to own one. SCFC cooking again. I think there's a bit of sarcasm there. Fredo says, third kit should be sponsored by Marmite. Like I say, it might grow me, that strip, but for somehow or other, I don't know, I just cannot see it, to be quite honest with you. I just cannot see it. So we'll go back to the comments again on the chat. It's quite active. One about strikers again. Mackem on a mission. Hello, Mackem on a mission. Welcome along to the show, fella. It says, Evelyn Cabby, I'd just like to say that third kit is the worst I've ever seen. D Hall says, 5 strikers Sunderland should have signed but didn't. Brandon Thomas, Asante Macaulay Langstaff, Sam Greenwood, Teresi Campbell, and Tommy Conway. Thane's gone in the chat, no, but there are some of the players we should be looking at in terms of loans and permanents who've got some experience at this level and scored some goals at this level. Thane's also said Greenwood and Campbell should have been considered. I agree with that. He's also said Lawrence Shankland is an experienced striker we should be considering if we didn't get Mendy. Fredo says Ryan Hardy scored 12 goals last season and you think he's what we need. He says he agrees on 100% on Shankland. And Thean's gone in the chat. He scored 12 at Plymouth though. With better players around him, he could do better. Our strikers managed 3 goals between them. I would like better than Hardy, but right now he would be better than nothing. Gary Hoyle says, looks like Divin Mbamba is on his way to Man City. Another one we were linked to earlier that we're just going to miss out. Fredo says, the lad from Fulham who was on loan at Birmingham. And he also says, yeah, the third kit should be sponsored by Marmite. Thean says, Stanfield is good as a good shout and I would take him, but the problem is that this lot wouldn't pay the money for him. And if it was loan on a permanent, would he even come because he's turned us down last season? Tony Huntington says, I would never buy it on the third strip. Players look like they've been sent to bed early and it's their pyjamas. Topsy T83, hello mate, it says, that third kit looks like a Weatherspoons plate. Has anybody seen a Weatherspoons plate? I haven't. I've already gone in. I presume it looks like that for some reason. That kit suits Helgi, to be fair. Crazy stuff in it. So let's come back and have a look, see what else has been going on some social media. Once again, it's just all on that strip. If you look at the strip, and I don't know if you've actually noticed, but it's got the mining wheels on it, like the top of our badge. That's what it is. I don't know who comes up with the idea. Yeah, the jackets are quite nice. Let's have a look at the jackets. Yeah, I do like the that jacket there. I do. I would actually have that one. That's not bad at all. I don't know if I'm keen on this, so it looks more like a jockey for the Grand National or something. Let's see. Regis Labrie has challenged Abdullah Bar and Romain Mundle to add consistency to their game, as wingers set about the tough task of putting pressure on first choice wide duo Patrick Roberts and Jack Clark. And once again, we're just asking too much, relying on those two. So yeah, here we go. Sunderland turned down 4 million offer for amazing midfielder. Apparently Forest and Palace were keen. We'll have a look at this then. Yeah, Topsy T says, I like the jacket too, mate, but the shirts are honking. The shirts are absolutely awful, mate. Absolutely awful. Get away, bloody adverts. Get off. Right. So Sunderland turned down 4 million offer for an amazing midfielder. Amazing midfielder? Peter Ekwa, would you say he's amazing? Don't know. Forest and Palace were keen. So Sunderland kick-started their season with a 2-0 victory over Cardiff at Cardiff City Stadium, and there's still 2 weeks to go for the North East club to improve their squad. He says, however, reports from France that have stated that Sunderland have received an offer from Syria side Udinese for Pierre Ekwa. Yorkshire Mackem, how you doing, fella? Good to see you. He says he doesn't mind the third kit. I mean, yeah, there will be some people that actually like it. It's not to everybody's taste, I presume that. Back to the Pia Equa, Italian outfit Massegro Veneto stated Udinese are determined to sign Sunderland's Equa this summer. It was also stated that Serie A side can't close the deal quick enough because the Black Cats' high demand. There was no mention of a fee requested. I was going to see if Jacobs maybe is going to come on the chat here. He can come on. He can give us a call if he's on. Right, let's get back to the. L'Equipe journalist Zoyek Tanzi took to X to update fans on the situation, with the French journalist claiming that Udinese have made a $4 million offer for Equa, but that is a figure the Black Cats have reportedly rejected. Rejected? What do you guys think about that? Is he worth keeping? I don't. A lot of people are saying there's just something not right with Equa. He started off well that game against Southampton, didn't he? And he's just gone proper downhill since then. Interest from Nottingham Forest and Crystal Palace. I'll give you a tinkle, Jacob. Hold on a minute. See if he comes on. Anyway, we'll get back. So HITC has reported back in January that Nottingham Forest and Palace were keen on Equa after his performance for Sunderland in the EFL Championship. I mean, to me, he was missing for most part of that bloody season, to be honest with you. Ex-Sunderland manager Tony Mowbray is a big fan of Equa, and it appears a host of clubs are also keen. I keep telling him that, and if we can develop that physical aspect of his game, then what a footballer we've got. So Equa, like I say, is he all that? Pia Equa. I don't know. It's John Call. Oh, Jacob, can you hear? No sound. Voice. Oh, can you hear us all right, Jacob? Hello, hello. How are you doing? You all right?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, not too bad, man. I didn't know whether you were about on that. Yeah, but what do you reckon about this £4 million of turn down for Equa then?
I don't know. I mean, if he goes, he goes. 'Cause I mean, I quite like Ekwa, but if we can get a bit of money for him, then surely we could use that money to maybe buy someone better, maybe even better. But I don't know. You got to take every article with a pinch of salt, haven't you? Really.
Yeah, I know. Because we're that used to not spending money, and then all of a sudden it's like turning down £4 million. I mean, they obviously see him that he's worth more than that, but like I said, a lot of fans would be glad to get rid of him.
Yeah, because I think ever since that second half of the season, he had a dead leg, didn't he, or something like that?
Hi.
The same, but...
So do you like the third stripper?
Yeah, I don't mind it actually. Something different, but might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I don't mind it.
yeah. I mean,
There's worse than that. There's a lot worse than that.
we're all the same though, isn't it? When it comes to like kits and stuff, it's like it'd be a boring place if we're all like the same, wouldn't it? It'd be massively boring. There we go. Get my ugly mug on here. Are you going to get it? The strip.
Oh, I don't think I'm right. No, I might do, yeah, for Christmas. So I've got the away strip, so I might get the home and third one for Christmas if I can.
If you can.
Yeah, it's very retro though, isn't it? The badge on the third away kit.
Yeah,
I've not
it's
got the current badge. It's, you know.
no, it's the 73 one, isn't it? The Wembley 73.
Yeah.
Which the thing is though, and what I've noticed a lot of people have as well is the fact like you can't even see it. You cannot see the actual badge. You can't see the sponsorship hardly. I mean, whoever's like looked at that, they've obviously colorblind because you can't. Yeah, I mean, unless it's just my eyes, but you just can't see it.
Mm.
There's a few people saying I don't mind the third kit. Like, Thane has gone. What about Mendy? He says Thane says looks like Mendy is off for now because we still can't agree a deal for him, and Khan are determined to keep him. We won't get him unless Khan lower the asking price. It's like Sunderland are just not gonna spend, are they? They're just not gonna splash out to get players.
Feels that way, doesn't it?
I mean, I'm just getting.
Kind of like they're losing trust.
Yeah, I know. I know. Thane says there's no point in selling Ekwar unless it's for a big fee with add-ons. Because, like I said that before, that 35% to West Ham takes away some of that money. So we'll probably get pittance if we sold them for 4 million quid or something. Ken Walton, a member of the channel. Hello, mate. This is good evening, cabby from a very wet boot in Cornwall. Tell me that new strip is dark blue. Cuffs and neckline is dark blue and not black. I'm not too sure. It's caused up quite a stir though, but it definitely looks like my nana's underpants from the from the
Someone did say it looks like a menu or some off Weatherspoons or something like that.
a plate. Apparently the plates are
Yeah.
designed like that. Like one of it's, I've never been put to the Sun and Strip to being judged on a plate in Witherspoons and stuff. So, how did you find the Preston game? Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did, and I mean, it's just when we'd put out a weaker team, didn't we? More of a reserve side, so which is what probably expected, and even Reggie said we're going to put out a totally different team, so it might be better to focus on the league, so rather than get distracted by the Carabao Cup, you know.
Yeah, it just seems
Mickey Mouse Trophy.
there just seems to be no point in that trophy though, does there? I mean, if you did a vote, I think the majority of clubs would not be bothered about it. I mean, you've got the EFL Cup for the lower leagues, yeah, which at least it gives the chance of them teams getting to Wembley at least, because the only teams that's going to win the League Cup's the top four or top five in the Premier League, and it's every season. So, you know, apart from a little bit of financial money from progressing into the later stages, just teams aren't fussed. But the Premier League sides can afford to put a second or third string side out. They're still good enough to beat a lot of Championship teams. We haven't got that. A lot of Championship sides haven't got that. It's just, I just felt sorry for all the fans going down there, to be honest with you. Started off for 10 minutes, but then we were just utter crap afterwards.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know.
Onwards and upwards.
So going on to Sunderland's impressive Sheffield Wednesday ticket sales ahead of the Championship class. So it looked like Sunderland faced Sheffield Wednesday at the Stadium of Light this weekend with a bumper crowd expected. Reckon probably going to be a full house. It's going to be, a lot of people don't realise, but it is on a Sunday. 12 o'clock kick-off. I wish we'd just keep on a Saturday, but I'm not keen on Sunday games, but there we go. The game marks the Black Cats' first home clash at the Stadium Light of the 2024-25 season after last weekend's Championship opener win at Cardiff. So, are you confident against Sheffield Wednesday?
definitely tougher than Cardiff. The opener Wednesday had, 4-0 win.
Plymouth blew them away, didn't they?
Yeah, but at the same time against Plymouth, and I think Plymouth will be struggling this season, so I think maybe 3-1 Sunderland, but I won't be too disappointed with a draw. So
Draw would be so. I think some fans would.
it might be one of those games that just goes either way because it's two big sides, and both teams have got good players in there, so I won't be too disappointed with a draw as well.
Yeah, I've got a funny feeling. I mean,
even though I'm going for a 3-1 win, but no matter what, support them no matter what.
oh yeah, absolutely. Of course, I mean,
As long as they play for the badge.
both Sunderland games so far this season have been selected for television coverage. With the match against Sheffield Wednesday set to follow suit with an amended kick-off time at 12 o'clock. It's also going to be on Sky Sports as well. I just think we're going to see more kick-offs not at 3 o'clock than actually at 3 o'clock. And of course, despite the television coverage, Sunderland fans turned out 2,500 at the Deepdale Stadium against Preston. But that's what we are, aren't we? So ahead of Sheffield Wednesday, 35,793 tickets have been sold. From 37,000 made available. Corporate sales and away fans are not included, of course. Meaning the final attendance at the Stadium night this weekend will be well over 40,000. Of course, Sheffield Wednesday take a good few up, Sheffield Wednesday will take a lot up.
They came in the numbers towards the end of last season, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
They brought a lot of fans.
They certainly did, but there's a long way to go. Everybody's still focusing on the striker situation. Everybody's still cheesed off that we still haven't got a striker.
Yeah, I think we'll get that. Don't know what to say, do you? It's like you get all sorts. One media say no, it looks like it's going to happen, and then another say no. You just don't know who to believe, do you? All these different articles. That's why you just take it, take it with a pinch of salt.
I still say we're going to go for deadline day.
Still they're holding the scarf. Holding the scarf, then you can believe it.
We also heard the news as well that Bradley Dack has signed for Gillingham.
Yeah.
Bradley Dack. A lot of fun fans are just going, ta-ra!
Not the best of players, was he?
He was injured for most of the time, wasn't he?
Yeah. It was a Mowbray signing money. Tony Mowbray got him.
I think so, aye.
But I do wish him the best of luck. That might be the better level for him.
Oh, aye, I would say so. So,
Do you have a prediction, Cabby, for the Wednesday game?
Oh, I don't know. I want to say Sunderland 2-0 up, 2-0 win.
Who do you think will score then? Who are you predicting to score?
I'm gonna go for Clark and Neil.
Clark and Neil. That's a free one, so I might go Clark. But I might go Clark, Neil, Bellingham. For Wednesday, maybe Barry Bannon. I'll go with him.
I think a lot of people just focus on Wednesday because their impressive start of the season and that, but I mean, Plymouth do look poor, mind.
Yeah, it's Wayne Rooney, isn't it?
Yeah. I think he'll be gone next month, won't he?
Yeah, he'll be going to the job centre.
Job centre, indeed. So do you think that is going to be right then, Jacob? Do you think it'll be a transfer deadline day for strikers?
Wednesday's first game, can you?
No, you can't. But I do think it's going to be It's going to be a deadline day for strikers. I don't think it's going to hear any more beforehand. It's going to be the striker situation is going to be announced on deadline day, I would say.
Yeah. The typical Sunderland, wouldn't
Yeah.
But I'm still confident we'll be fine this season. Like, I don't think we'll be bottom half of the table.
Really.
Yeah, I don't think Clark's going to leave it.
I think if he did, probably end of this season if we don't go up. But some are saying he might be gone in January.
Think so.
Yeah, but who knows? Who knows?
There's been also like
The
loads.
ideal thing to sign a new contract.
There's been loads of reports as well. Probably fake accounts and stuff. For the fact like Jack Clark could be staying for another 2 seasons as well. But like I say, there's that much fake crap going on. Gary Hoyle says if you want to be promoted, we have to win our home games. So tight 1-0 for us. And this is you're right, Gary. I mean, we've got to at least puck up our home form because I mean we've been awful at home these last few seasons. Like, no problem,
Yeah.
D Hall. I didn't realise I had you on bloody mute on my channel, so we can now hear you. Look, you've got to win your home games, as many as you can,
Absolutely.
and to get the top 6, whatever, you need a striker that's going to get you 20 odd goals. There's no ifs and buts about it. It's no good relying on Clark to get you 6, Roberts to get you 4.
Or Bellingham.
Yeah.
Because Bellingham's got a few goals in, haven't they? And sometimes they might rely on him.
Oh,
But
absolutely. You've got to spend, right? You've got to win your home games at least, and you need a player that's going to bag you 20 odd goals in that season. I mean, look what Ipswich did. They went and did the business, didn't they? They went and spent. They got what the players, and they're in the Premier League. We don't know how long, but the fact is they're there. That's the main thing. Still, a lot of fans, are wanting Speakman gone and this, and that, and the other. But I think we should just hold fire and just wait and just see. Look, if we don't get any strikers, right, the transfer deadline day and it's gone, we haven't got any strikers, that'll be criminal.
yeah.
That would be criminal. I think that would be an absolute insult to the fans. They're spending the money on the season tickets and the buying the strips in the thousands. And if they didn't get a striker, or strikers, then I think there'll be a massive backlash, to be quite honest with you, from the fans. Like, I don't think they're going to be that daft and good and not get any strikers, especially after their promise before the season started. Like, we've learnt our mistake, and we mean business this season. We will do things right. That's so.
Well, I hope so.
They've got to, because if they didn't,
But
I mean,
you never know with Sunderland, do you?
would it be such a bad thing if we decided to be in the Championship for another season or two? Would it be? Would that be absolutely disastrous? As long as we stay away from Division 1, of course. I mean, is it still too early to try and push for the playoffs?
I don't think so. I think that's because we need to get. That's where we want to be. That's our league. That's the league we belong in. Fair enough, we don't deserve it because of how we've been, but we're starting to. The good times are starting to come back with the promotion after promotion from League One. It's a hard league to get out at Championship, and you've got to spend a good amount of money in there. But you also don't. But when you get to the Prem, you don't want to go crazy, do you? Because you'll end up doing what Ellis Short did and back to square one for us. We don't want that. So
it's a funny league, the Championship. It's a funny league, the Championship. Oh, of course it is. You've got the teams that coming down from the Premier League. Like you're not going to get away from that, and you're always going to have that uphill battle against the two teams coming down. I mean, Burnley, I don't know if you've seen them against Luton Town, 2 Premier League sides formerly, of course.
Good win.
Burnley destroyed them. To be honest with you, I think Luton's going to struggle this season. To be honest with you, I think.
What do you think? Relegation for Luton, or do you think?
I don't think it'll be relegation, but I don't think they'll be in anywhere near the top 6. Luton, I don't know. Gary Halls just says apparently we're trying to send Manuel Benson from Burnley. Here we go, very one man and his dog. Manuel Benson from Burnley. I mean, who was that player we chased again? He's eventually signed Oxford. So that was a bullet dodge, wasn't
Oh, yeah. I know who you're on about.
it? No.
I know who you're on about. But I don't think he's as good as what might be made out to be. So, yeah, could be better off at Oxford.
Yeah, could well be.
But there's them rumours of Ross Stewart, isn't there, on loan? But you
There
don't know what
was.
to believe, do you? It could all just be fake news, couldn't it?
Yeah, it's Ross Stewart. I don't think it's ever gonna happen. Like, I mean, I don't know whether Sunderland fans would welcome him back.
No, he had a bit of a funny attitude, didn't he, when he signed for Southampton? Kind of, he sort of had a, you know, oh, kind of like a Josh Maja, really.
hmm Did you
We don't want that attitude.
did you say you got the Sheffield Wednesday game? Or are you just watching it? You be doing a watch along with Amp, are
I'll
you?
be watching it. Yeah, watch along with Amp. So
He didn't do the match against Cardiff. He must have been out
Preston,
knackered. Preston, should I say?
yeah, I think he had a chest infection, so he had to go to hospital.
Oh, for God's
Paul was
sake!
telling me, but he's all right now. He's on medication, so he's on the mend.
That's all that happens.
Aye, definitely.
D Hall says that Manuel Benson is a winger. Don't know. Deadline day is going to be. It is. It'll happen, mate. Honestly, it'll happen. I'm. I'm quietly confident it'll happen on deadline day. It's not far away, you know.
No, it's not. It'll be here before you know it.
It will indeed.
Before you can say goodnight, Mother Teresa, or something like that. You know.
Aye, absolutely. Well, I'm going to about head off and end the show in about 2 minutes.
No worries.
It's just the main thing is it's actually this last week. No, it's not been about strikers or new signings and stuff. It's what's caused the most outroar is of course the Sunderland third strip. There's loads of people with having to say about that. I don't know. It's the third, the top, the last with blonde hair looks decent. Would have been better using that as the third kid. Paul says, I speak for the majority of the fan base. I say, what the F is that? Looking at that top. Scott says, Hummel have sadly got this one totally wrong. Kevin says, looks like one of those photos you get at a Christmas family reunion party. Everybody with the PJs on.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I've got another chat in the comment in the chat says it's if it's deadline day, he says it'll be panic buys or loan players. Who would you rather have? Would you rather have loan players or would you rather have panic buys?
Loan, because a panic buy usually ends up being shit, don't they? So, but also you can get rubbish loans like Bird's Toe. But yeah, I'd rather have a loanee than a panic buy. We've seen it all before, haven't we? With panic buys, Will Grigg and all that. Don't
Oh,
want that.
of course, I absolutely. I don't another Will Grigg, no way. Jim Nesbitt says for the third strip looks like the '70s Fair Isle jumpers. One way ticket. Dave says Macaulay Langstaff 700k value, 3k a week worth a punt on Macaulay Longstaff. I think we were mentioned showing an interest with him before. But it's all a
Yeah,
marketing thing, and it's like they like to blow up this transfer deadline day massively, don't they? It's like
yeah,
it's this big thing, you know, where they like to hype it up, and it's huge for Sky Sports and all that. That's a massive drama,
yeah.
and it's just
Of course I do.
it's a big show, isn't it? Uh,
Yeah, It's like a soap opera. That's all it is.
Of course it is. D Hall says, looks like the third strip has been washed with blue socks and the colours have ran.
Looks like curtains, doesn't it? Like them patterns look like you'd see something on a old lady's curtains or something like that.
Well, actually reminds me of the curtains we had in our caravan in the early 80s.
Yeah. Or like an old hotel, run-down hotel or something like that, or a hotel from the 80s or 70s.
I don't know. It's got to be the only way I can look at that strip is it's got to be some sort of marketing plot to sort of get us noticed or get people talking about something, because Hummel can't go surely from them two strips to that, the first two strips to what we've just seen there on the third.
Yeah, well, if we start winning in it, Cabby, if we win in it in away days, that's fans might start to buy it then.
Hey, that's what you're saying. It's what matters on the pitch. That's the most important, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I will end the show now on the hour. I'm going to be changing my times on a Thursday now. I'm going to be doing from 8 till 9 every Thursday. I think 7 o'clock's just a bit too early. Seem to get more viewers coming in later. I've got decent viewers watching. Just seem to have more people coming in as it gets later on the night. So I think 8 till 9 is going to be a bit better. It'll let people settle and having the tea and stuff. So like I say, I've just gone over this show about the Preston game. Any players that's been rumoured, which has not really been much, to be quite honest with you. And of course, we are looking forward now to the Sheffield Wednesday game. So from myself, we'll catch you later, and from Jacob.
Good evening, and